जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य अष्टोदश श्रीमद शिला अभयचनाभिन भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय। निताय गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Today we'll be reading from Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Status Quo, Chapter 15, Descriptions of the Kingdom of God. Today we are doing text number 39. We'll all do Mangal Chant. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutha Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vangsha Kalpataru Vraksha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patithana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudire Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevayat Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bhangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Text 39. Krishna Prasada Sumukham Sprahaniya Dhama. Krishna Prasada Sumukham Sprahaniya Dhama. Snehāvaloka kalaya hridi samsprishantam. Snehāvaloka kalaya hridi samsprishantam. Shame prithava udashi shobitaya shriyasva. Shame prithava udashi shobitaya Chudamanim Shubhagayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Chudamanim Shubhayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Krishna Prasada Sumukham Sprihaniya Dhama. Krishna Prasada Sumukham Sprihaniya Dhama. Snehavaloka Kalaya Hridi Samsprishantam. Havaloka Kalaya Smriti Smanshishan. Shyame Prithav Urashi Shobitaya Shriyasva. Shyame Prithav Urashi Chudamanim Shubhagayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Damanim Shubhagayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Vaishnavas. Krishna Prasada Sumukham Sprihaniya Dhama. Snehavaloka Kalaya Smriti Sansritantam. Shyame Prithava Urashi Shobitaya Shriyasvas. Chudamanim Shubhayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Krishna Prasada Sumukham Sprihaniya Dhama. Snehavaloka Kalaya Siddhi Samsprishantam. Shyame Prithava Urashi Shobitaya Shriyasvas. Chudamanim Shubhayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Krishna Prasada Sumukham Sprihaniya Dhama. Snehavaloka Kalaya Hridi Samsprishantam. Shyame Prithava Urashi Shobitaya Shriyasvas. Chudamanim Shubhagayantam Ivatma Dishnyam. Word for word. Krishna Prasada. Blessing everyone. Sumukham. Auspicious face. Smrihaniya, desirable. Dhama, shelter. Sneha, affection. Avaloka, looking upon. Kalaya, by expansion. Hridi, within the heart. Samsprishantam, touching. Shyame, unto the Lord with darkish color. Prithau, broad. Urashi, chest. Shobitaya, being decorated. Shriya, goddess of fortune. Swa, heavenly planets. Chudamanim, summit. Shubhagayantam, spreading good fortune. Eva, like. Atma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dishnyam, abode. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Chanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. His auspicious presence is meant for everyone's benediction, and His affectionate smiling and glancing touch, and His affectionate smiling and glancing touch the core of the heart. The Lord's beautiful bodily color is blackish, and His broad chest is the resting place of the goddess of fortune, who glorifies the entire spiritual world the summit of all heavenly planets. Thus, it appeared that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. Purport. When the Lord came, he was pleased with everyone. Therefore, it is stated here, Krishna Prasada Sumukham. The Lord knew that even the offensive doormen were his pure devotees, although by chance they committed an offense at the feet of other devotees. To commit an offense against a devotee is very dangerous in devotional service. Lord Chaitanya therefore said that an offense to a devotee is just like a mad elephant run loose. When a mad elephant enters a garden, it tramples all the plants. Similarly, an offense unto the feet of a pure devotee murders one's position in devotional service. On the part of the Lord, there was no offended mood, because he does not accept any offense created by his sincere devotee. But a devotee should be very cautious of committing offenses at the feet of another devotee. The Lord, being equal to all and being especially inclined to his devotee, looked as mercifully at the offenders as at the offended. This attitude of the Lord was due to his unlimited quantity of transcendental qualities. His cheerful attitude towards the devotee was so pleasing and heart-touching that his very smile was attractive for them. That attraction was glorious not only for all the higher planets of this material world, but beyond, for the spiritual world also. Generally, a human being has no idea of what the constitutional position is in the higher material planets, which are far better constituted in regards to all paraphernalia. Yet, the Vaikuntha planet is so pleasing and so celestial that it is compared to the middle jewel or locket in a necklace of jewels. In this verse, the word Sprihaniya Dhama indicates that the Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure because he has all transcendental qualities. Although only some of these are aspired for by persons who hanker after the pleasure of merging in the impersonal Brahman, there are other aspirants who want to associate with the Lord personally as his servants. The Lord is so kind that he gives shelter to everyone, both impersonalist and devotees. He gives shelter to the impersonalist in his impersonal Brahman effulgence, whereas he gives shelter to the devotees in his personal abodes, known as Vaikuntha Lokas. He is especially inclined to his devotee. He touches the core of the heart of the devotee simply by smiling and glancing over him. The Lord is always served in the Vaikuntha Loka by many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, as stated by Brahma Samhita, Lakshmi Sahasra Satasam Brahma Sevyamanam. In this material world, one is glorified if he is favored even a pinch by the goddess of fortune. So we can simply imagine how glorified is the kingdom of God in the spiritual world, where many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune engage in the direct service of the Lord. Another feature of this verse is that it openly declares where Vaikuntha Lokas are situated. They are situated at the summit of all heavenly planets, which are above the sun globe at the upper limit of the universe, and are known as Satya Loka or Brahma Loka. The spiritual world is situated beyond the universe. Therefore, it is stated here that the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka, is the summit of all planetary systems. I fired up, Prabhupada. Fired up. Love Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is fired up. So here we are seeing the situation where the result has been produced, right? We saw this similar situation between Kashyapa Muni and Diti. Now she is pregnant. The result has produced, right? Now here also we are seeing a similar situation where the result has been produced. Meaning an action has occurred a reaction has also occurred, and now a prarabdha situation has started. Right? And so this is an interesting journey for Jaya Vijaya and the four Kumaras and for all of us to understand. Right? Many times in dealing with each other, sometimes a situation may arise. Maybe Arjuna asks Krishna, right? Anichan api varshneya. Right? He says, anichan. He says, my dear Krishna, Arjuna is telling in the battlefield, sometimes we get dragged into a situation without contemplating. Right? Anichan means I didn't contemplate this situation and I've been dragged into it. Right? Many times. So Arjuna uses this word, anichanapi varshneya. That without, unknowingly, sometimes we, come into a situation. Krishna tells Arjuna, yes, that is fact. Sometimes kama and krodha can drag one. Irsha dvesha samutvena dvandamohena bharata. Then Krishna's reply, right? The irsha and dvesha, it happens. Because in this situation, irsha and dvesha is there. Dvanda mohena, these two together, they are mohena. They are now, circumambulating us, and in that problems can occur. Right? So Arjuna is explaining this position. So here, what is happening is that anichanapi varshneya, the situation has occurred. It's not like Jaya Vijaya thought, let's offend the four Kumaras. Boys not wearing any clothes. Look at us, we are wearing clothes. So we'll stop them. No, it's not. That was not the situation. Right? That wasn't it. And the four Kumaras were not coming to Vaikuntha to curse somebody. Are you noticing? So it's not like both, came there, like in a wrestling match or in a boxing arena, you like person A versus person B. Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali, So there, what is happening, the situation is that both are building up to the moment of the fight. But here, no such thing. Like in Mahabharata, both sides are building up to the fight, right? Both sides. What is Arjuna telling? Krishna, come, take Ratham Stapita, take the chariot to the center. I wish to see the people who desire to fight for the evil-minded Duryodhana. There he wants to see who is the opposing side. Like Arjuna. But here there is no such opposition. Here it just so happened that four Kumaras came, Jaya Vijaya were doing their service, a clash occurs, and now the reaction has happened. Right? So this is the situation. Anichan. It's not like they both were contemplating, anybody looks at me the other way. I'm just pulling my Brahman thread out, taking the water, and this is done today. Right? No, it's just, it's just going. It is naturally happening. And then any chance this situation occurs. Now we'll see the four Kumaras, grade, right? How they are grading upwards. First, the Brahmavadis. Then they are meeting the Shantarasis. Now they are meeting the Dasya Rasis. Right? Now what happens is that if you're not used to Krishna consciousness, sometimes you may see somebody's service and you may say that, okay, this is clashing with me, I have a problem. Are you noticing? Sometimes it happens, right? So, a good example of this is, let's say you're in management. Right? Let's say you're a devotee and you're in part of management. Right? Now you have to manage. That's your role. Right? Your management, you have to manage. Now if somebody has never managed, right? They will not appreciate what you're doing. They're not going to appreciate what you're doing. No chance. Why? Why will they appreciate? Okay? So this idea you have to understand as a manager. Now the other devotee has to understand, because I haven't managed, maybe there is something there that I am not able to see. Are you getting? So both sides have to appreciate each other's service. Is that making sense? Now just imagine, you come to the temple, right? And you're saying, I wish to, see Radha Gopinath, open the curtains. Curtains are closed, open. I have arrived. Me, the great. I have come to see Radha Gopinath, open the curtains. Is the curtains not going to open? Now you may get angry and say, I curse. They didn't open the curtains for me. Right? No, that's not correct. Idea here is to say, okay, the pujari has a service. There is a time for him to close the curtain. There's a time for him to do his service. Right? That is his service time. Are you appreciating? It is his service time. And it is your service time to be in Vipralamba. So at that situation, you are in Vipralamba and he is doing the service. Are you understanding? Now, the curtains open. Okay? Now you are dancing here in the Aarti and the Pujari has to stand straight and, turn the Aarti plate. Right? Now he is in Vipralamba and you are enjoying. Are you noticing the difference? This is appreciating each other. Otherwise it's going to be a problem, right? If you're not able to appreciate the position of the two, then you're going to have a problem. So that's what's occurred here. A problem has occurred. Because I'm not able to appreciate you, you're not able to appreciate me. Boom. Okay, so now the situation has occurred. Now in amongst all of this, first you get to see the dham. Then you get to do service, smelling the tulsi. Then you get to meet the devotees. Finally you will get to meet the Lord. Right? This is the gradation. That is why it is said, when someone comes to the temple, someone should be here to greet. Otherwise, they come to the dham, they straight see the Lord. Right? So you may say, well, isn't that great? No, they have to first meet the devotees. And then in meeting the devotees, then they have to meet the Lord. That's the correct approach. That is why even now, even in India, whenever you will go, if you come to the temple, immediately the pujari will run from the back room and come in front. Right? In India, if you go to any temple, you will notice this. Any temple, like I remember once we went to a Hanuman temple. The pujari suddenly came, and he had a dhoti on top of his shorts. He was sitting there and he immediately came out. So, okay. But you appreciate because devotee must be there. If you have come to a place, devotee must be there to greet you. So this is important. This principle is very important. So you will see this journey here in the four Kumaras, right? They come, they see the dham, then they, see they have, doing service, they meet the devotees. Finally, they meet the Lord. So to meet the Lord, there has to be interaction with devotee. You understanding? You want to meet the Lord, there has to be interaction with the devotees. These demigods also try to meet the Lord, right? But they'll usually go with Brahma. Brahma will take them to Sweta Dweep. Brahma will sit and meditate and then say, okay, Vishnu told this, let's go. And they are all sitting in Sweta Dweep and they can't see anything. Okay, he said it? Okay, let's go. It's like when you come to a room, there's a bright light, you're like, okay, it's all done? All right, let's go. And then you go out. So that's the situation here, right? That's how it is here. So what they're doing is they are listening from Brahma. Brahma is the devotee. So Brahma is getting the message and then it's being passed on, right? So that's actually the process. So here the four Kumaras have met the devotees. Now they'll get to meet the Lord. Right? Now, of course, here a little bit, it's become a bit sour. Like yogurt has formed. Instead of, little sourness has occurred. Like a little bit of sour. So when there's sour, you get yogurt. Okay, so a little bit sour. Okay, so now Lord Krishna is coming. Lord Vishnu is coming there. Now when Lord Vishnu is coming, everything is going to get resolved. Last Friday we discussed about the definition of definition of pure devotion, and it talked about the Swarup Lakshana, the primary characteristic, and Tatashta Lakshana, the secondary characteristics. Now here you're going to start seeing. So now, and it's very interesting how this is following Nectar of Devotion. Now you'll enter chapter 1. In chapter 1, Srila Prabhupada starts talking about that there are 6 qualities of pure devotion. 6 qualities. The first one is Kleshagni. Right? Kleshagni, Shubhada, Kleshagni, Shubhada, Mukta Lagutakrit, Sudurlabha, Sandrananda Visheshatma, and Sri Krishna Karshani. So these are your six qualities, right? So here we are going to talk about 2. We are talking about the first 2, which is Kleshagni and what is the next one? Shubhada. Kleshagni and Shubhada. Here the focus is that. And these 2 are considered sadhana bhakti. The next 2, Moksha Lagutakrit and Sudurlabha, are Bhava Bhakti, and Sandrananda Visheshatma and Krishna Karshani are Prema Bhakti. So that's how Nectar of Devotion, first section, right? This is Eastern wave. The Eastern wave is broken like this, right? So here we are talking Kleshagni and Shubhada. So first is Kleshagni. So Kleshagni means You're dealing with the manifestation. Material. Now here's interesting, right? The 4 Kumaras are turning into devotees. They're in the turn phase, right? So they're turning into devotees. They're turning into devotees. It's happening slowly, right? They're turning. And then here, of course, Jaya Vijaya are devotees. They are devotees, right? They're in Dasya Rasa, right? And so then they're looking at them and saying, okay, 1 second. So, this is the interaction that has occurred. Hang on. And so in this interaction, a problem has occurred. Right? So in that turning over. So this is in Kleshagni, Srila Prabhupada talks about aprarabdhas. In chapter 1, he talks about this, right? That you have all these kleshas coming from previous situations that have occurred. Now Jaya and Vijaya, this situation, they are going to tolerate this situation for nearly 4 million years. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. So nearly 4 million years they are going to go through this process. Right? It's about 4 million years. Right? The 3 yugas. About the span of 4 million. So near 4 million years they're going to go through this, this mistake. They made a mistake and they're going to go through a 4 million cycle for this. Right? Rupa Goswami writes in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, it's not that in every yuga Jaya Vijaya fall down. Because if that was the case, then there is no uniqueness to it. They don't fall down every yuga. This just so happened that in this yuga, Krishna is coming, so there is you need something more, more phenomenal. So whenever Krishna comes, there's a shake up. The whole ground shakes up, right? So that's Krishna. What can you do? That's how Krishna is, right? So when Krishna comes, everything shakes up. So then Jaya Vijaya are brought down here for this reason. It's not like this happens every time. It's not like Jaya Vijaya always, they're like, hey, you can't enter. It's not like that. This has happened uniquely. So here Jaya Vijaya, now they're coming down. Now their kleshas are forming. Right? So they are taking, you're going to see Krishna is going to give them an option. They take the option that they find to be the quickest way to come back because that's only 4 million years. Right? That's shorter. In comparison to the other one, this is shorter. So they're saying, no, we want this. We'll take the shorter version. Right? So that's how Jaya Vijaya, that's their choice. But here you will see that their aprarabdha has now started. From aprarabdha, then papa bija, then all of that formation. That's why Srila Prabhupada, you'll see in chapter 1 that why he's explaining it in this fashion. In Kleshagni, he's explaining how the papa is formed and how the papa can be destroyed. Right? So that's how Srila Prabhupada is beginning the nectar of devotion. So Kleshagni. Right? Then he's saying that at the end of your sadhana, you will see Shubhada. You'll start seeing auspiciousness. Auspiciousness will start coming. You will start seeing. Now here, that practical representation of that auspiciousness is Lord Vishnu's arrival. Right? This is the practical representation of that situation. Sometimes we may be dealing with each other and we'll be like, hey, why did you tell me this? Or, you don't respect me, or, I'm not respecting someone. I mean, whatever the situation may be, right? As a theist, you're continuously complaining to Krishna. As an atheist, you're continuously complaining about the world. Right? Which is indirectly complaining about Krishna. Whatever happens, we will always blame the field. Right? Why? Why do we always blame the field? Because we are dependent. I'm dependent on this ground, right? Oh, earthquake happened. Oh, everything broke. Oh, earthquake happened. So you see, we blame the field. We are always blaming outwardly. Right? We are blaming the field always. What are 3 Adi Kleshas? Adi Atmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik. So we are always, either the subtle body is making me struggle, or the people are making me struggle, or the situation. So we are always blaming the field. This is our primary position. We always blame the field. Right? And who is the field? Who is field? Shankarshana. So the atheists are blaming Shankarshan for everything. Oh, because of Shankarshana this is happening. Right? Devotee, Krishna, see, I got disrespected, you didn't do anything. So we are here directly telling Krishna, see problem. So both theists and atheists are invariably blaming Krishna for their situation. Now here what is happening? Krishna himself has come. Yeah, what's the problem? Are you noticing? Because 4 Kumaras are thinking, how can this be that in Vaikuntha, in this beautiful place, you are stopping us, you are unfit to be here. Right? This is it. So they are blaming the field. Are you noticing? You're blaming the field, right? This is such a, we are fit, you're thinking about a curse. So they're blaming the field. Right? So they're blaming Krishna. Now that whole field has wrapped up and come as Krishna. Now he is in front of you. Now what do you say? Right? So that changes. That is why it is Shubhada. That is why Krishna is all auspicious, because he is the entire field. Here the word that is being used, Shobhitaya. That because in his chest is the goddess of fortune. Right? Srila Prabhupada writes so beautifully in the purport, right? You get a pinch of, like how Srila Prabhupada writes, right? In this material world, one is glorified if he is favored even a pinch by the goddess of fortune. So nice, right? Srila Prabhupada's word. Pinch. So we can simply imagine how glorified is the kingdom of God in the spiritual world, where many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune engage in the direct service of the Lord. Whoa. That's something. So now that personality has come in front of you. Shubhada. All auspicious. All auspicious. Right? Now, of course, devotees will recognize the auspiciousness. So now Jaya Vijaya and the four Kumaras, they recognize the auspiciousness. Same Krishna comes in front of Duryodhan, comes in front of others, they don't recognize. They don't recognize the Subhada. They don't recognize the auspiciousness. For Duryodhan, Krishna is standing in front of him and telling him, if you give half the kingdom at least, forget it, give 5 villages, you will be happy. Krishna is telling that you will be happy. What more do you need? What more do you need? Right? And similarly, Srila Prabhupada is saying, right? Chant and be happy. He's saying, be happy. We, Hare Krishna. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. What is that line in Amito Kangala, Krishna, Krishna Boli? That is our mood. We are like, Amito Kangala, Krishna, Krishna Boli. We are crying and crying. Right? But actually, chant and be happy. So Krishna is giving that option to Duryodhan. He says, my dear Duryodhan, you just give 5 villages. You will be happy. They will be happy. You will be happy. Problem solved. He says, no. Now look at his agitation and unhappiness. I won't even give a land that you can pierce the tip of a needle. Right? So you see the needle there? The tip of a needle. Like, my God. That is anger. You have to understand what anger means. And we get angry like that. We get angry like that, right? Sometimes you're sitting in the carpet and some devotee comes, Prabhu, just a little bit here. This is my area. My area. It happens. You can just, not even the tip of a needle can pass through here. This is my area. So this happens. But here is when Krishna comes in front of the non-devotees, right? So even Krishna comes in front of the non-devotees, they'll just keep fighting. So then sometimes non-devotees ask, tell Krishna to come in front of me. There is no value in doing that. Krishna has done it before. It's not like he's the first time he's trying, oh really? Wow, I never thought of that. Krishna is thinking, maybe I should have done that. No, he's done this. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. Some of you may be thinking this, right? Right now we are in Radha Gopinath. When I go to Vrindavan, how Krishna will look? Exactly like this. That's how Krishna looks. You will deal with Krishna in that form. That's how he looks. Look at him. That's how he looks. That's how he looks. That's how he looks. What's the problem? That's how he looks. No, but he will be like this. Yes, that's how he looks. So this understanding, this is a struggle. This is a struggle for us, right? So, but over time it'll come. That is why, they use the term Ishta Devta and all. These terms are then used in Nectar of Devotion because that is it. This is it. That's how he looks. But Prabhu, it should be like this. That's what it is. So then you'll see why the pujaris are so caring and, they try to dress. They may sometimes take longer. Sometimes you'll see you're giving class, they close the curtains and all, right? These things matter. They matter because that's how he looks. Right? So this is our realization. So anyway, now Krishna is now coming. So in front of non-devotees, doesn't really matter. Now Krishna has come in front of devotees. Right? Now they can see the Subhada. Now the Shubhada is being described here. This is all Shubhada. Right? Before Kleshagni is being removed. Now Shubhada. Right? So now you will notice this even in Kashyapa and Diti. First, okay, they made a mistake. Okay, now Kleshagni, now the seed has formed. Right? Now the womb is there. Kleshagni, Bija is there now. So now what? Then Kashyapa says, we bless that, Lord Vishnu will personally come to kill. And forget that. He says, your grandson will be a great devotee. Right? So you see, now bless it. Now Shubhada. Once when we recognize something, and then we look back to Krishna, Shubhada occurs, auspiciousness occurs. Are you getting how this works? So now auspiciousness is occurring. So now both Jaya, Vijaya, the four Kumaras, they are seeing Krishna. Krishna will mitigate this problem. We see in Mahabharata, Arjuna and Yudhishthir, hey Gauranga, hey Krishna, Kishori Mohan Prabhu ki jai. Welcome back Prabhu. Jai Ho. So we'll have good kirtan now. So we'll see in Mahabharata, we see there is Arjuna and then there is Yudhishthira. Right? Two personalities. Right? And great personalities. They almost come to blows that they are about to kill each other. Right? And where? Not in the battlefield, in a camp. They left the battlefield. Right? Yudhishthira is mending his wounds. And Arjuna is taking a break to check, okay, how is Yudhishthira? Right? So, that's the situation. You understand the situation? And here, it becomes so big, the situation, that they're about to come to blows and kill each other. You're like mini Mahabharata in the Mahabharata. Right? When they say Mahabharata is about a fight amongst relatives, it gets pretty in-relative as well. So amongst the Pandavas, it's... So, but then Krishna comes and he resolves the situation. This is Shubhada. Krishna is so auspicious that if there is a problem, and if Krishna is kept in the center of that, all issues will get resolved. Right? Now, for us to appreciate this, right, we may be thinking, okay, I'm a devotee, I am fit. I'm chant 16 rounds. 16, 1-6. Into 108, 1,728 beats. Into 16. I don't know the math of that, but that's how great I am. I'm chanting my rounds. So, we do feel a sense of entitlement. Because if you are fit, you feel entitled. Is that making sense? If you are fit, you feel entitled. Right? So, that's why when you go to the beach, everyone removes their shirt. Why they want to show their abs? Because they spend, 4 hours in the gym. So, when you become fit, you feel entitled. You want to show. Yeah, see? See, no? What's the problem? So you feel, that's the issue, because they're thinking, I'm fit, so I'm entitled. But then in Nectar of Devotion, as Srila Prabhupada goes, what is the next shloka? Sarva upadi vinir. Mukta. One is like, I give up, but you're not mukta still. No, you have to liberate yourself from this position. So you have to give up this concept of I'm fit. That fitness, but of course here you'll see the four Kumaras are talking to Jaya Vijaya about being fit. Are you fit to be in Vaikuntha? So you see, that's still there, that lingering is still there. Right? But in general, we have to give up all the upadis. We have to say, no, what is this I'm fit? There is no entitlement. But as devotees, we feel entitled. And then what happens is, we will see Krishna's devotees, the Maharajas, they will deal with the unfit. That's how we think, right? This fellow is not fit. How come Maharaj is dealing with him? Look at me, I'm so fit. How come nobody is dealing with me? You see, mind plays these beautiful positioning about I am fit, other person is unfit. Then why dealing with the unfit and not with the fit? Because the Uttama Adhikari and all of this nectar. So it's interesting that this section is all aligning with Nectar of Devotion. This entire section is all aligning with Nectar of Devotion. Right? That in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada mentions that the Uttama Adhikari, he doesn't see fit or unfit. He sees that there is an opportunity that you can become a devotee, and in your process, you will meet Krishna, who is Shubhada. in your service of devotional service, right, you will come to a position when you will meet the auspicious. In your sadhana bhakta, as a bhakti, in your practice, you will finally get a taste. That's why it is called Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. It is still sadhana bhakti, but it's now Raganuga. Meaning, you have got a taste. You still haven't reached Bhava Bhakti, right? So in sadhana bhakti, you have Vaidhi and you have Raganuga. They both are part of sadhana. Right? You still haven't come out of the sadhana bhakti phase. But because now the Shubhada has come, the Raganuga gets a taste. And he's like, yes. And who does the Raganuga follow? What does Srila Prabhupada explain in Nectar of Devotion? They follow the Ragatmikas. Who are the Ragatmikas? They are into the full taste of Raga, of Krishna, right? So they sing Krishna, whatever mood of Krishna is, then there are parents, there are, Vatsalya, Madhurya, Dasya, Sakhya, all of the ragas are there. 12. That's why, what is the term used in Nectar of Devotion? Akhila Rasamrita Murti. This is the term used, right? Akhila Rasamrita Murti, meaning, Rasamrita means all 12 relationships. The 5 primary, the 7 secondary. All 12 are present. Right? That is why this term is used. Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Right? So this is Krishna, his Shubhada. And so even if you get a taste, now you will enter Bhava Bhakti. Now you will, now from the next two will arrive. Now you will enter Bhava Bhakti. And then from Bhava Bhakti, you will finally enter Prema Bhakti. And it is explained that until you reach Prema, there is a chance you can fall down. There is a chance. So till you don't get to the 9th, till the 8th, there is a chance you can fall. There is a chance. It is possible. And so therefore you should not get worried or shocked. I was listening to a very nice lecture by Bhaktivedanta Puri Maharaj. This is, okay, it's 8:45. Sorry, I lost track of time. I'll just close it, but because this is a very nice point Bhaktivedanta Puri Maharaj makes. I was listening and I found it really amazing, right? He was telling, he said nowadays everybody is worried about, some Maharaj fell down or this devotee left. He was saying when we were devotees and Srila Prabhupada was here, he was saying that every month or 2 months, 10 to 15 people became sannyasis. Every 1 to 2 months, 10 to 15 people became sannyasis. And he was saying the net average count of sannyasis were about 20. He says, what do you think that means? Means 10 were coming in, 10 were falling down. 10 were coming in, 10 were falling down. Are you seeing what it means? Is that making sense? He was saying the net count was always about 20. Right? The 20 were prominent, other took sannyas and then blooped up after that. He is saying, but none of us were shocked by that. Why? Because we were like, yes, you tried. Didn't work, it didn't work. So do your devotional service. We engage in our devotional service. And so I found this point quite interesting because this you're listening this from someone who was in the period. Right? So they are speaking and you're like, yeah, okay. Okay, so it happens and somebody can fall down. It happens. Yeah, so they were saying that, but because Srila Prabhupada was there, and we were like, yes, this process is real. And Srila Prabhupada would say, yes, people will fall down. Many soldiers will fall. Many soldiers will fall. Yes, that's okay. You are trying. And so this is the Shubhada. This is the auspiciousness. That Krishna will come, a taste will come. And one may try the highest, but then may fall down. Meaning, from Raganuga, they probably reached Bhava, but they never entered Prema. Right? So that's what it means. But that's okay. You reached Bhava. That's amazing. So what does that mean? Next birth, you will continue from Bhava. Or the following birth, whichever, how many ever births it takes, one will continue. And we'll see this even in Jaya Vijaya, that Rupa Goswami explains that the first time they are born Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu because they wanted full strength. Right? Then as they are getting killed by Varahadev and Narsimadev, they are thinking that this person has a lot of opulence. Look at his strength, Hiranyakashipu is thinking as he is Hiranyakashipu, Shila Tang Khana Khala. As that is happening, he's thinking, I asked, not day, not night, nor, weapons. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy is really, he's matched it all. So then, next birth, they want opulence. So then, Kumbhakaran and Ravana. Ravana takes Sita. He wants the opulence. And then as he's getting killed there, he's thinking, man, this fellow is standing here as a, orange-bodied sannyasi. There's something about this guy. He doesn't have Sita with him at that time. Right? Lord Ram doesn't have Sita with him at that time. He said, this guy's standing like a renunciate. And then as he's dying, he's thinking, there is something actually about this person. So first it was about strength, then it became about the opulence, finally it's actually about the person. There's something about this person. So then they come as Shishupal and Dantavakra. Right? And both of them, what are they saying? They continuously, Shishupal is continuously thinking of Krishna. Krishna this, Krishna that, Krishna this, Krishna that, Krishna this, Krishna. It is explained, Kamsa, you think about Krishna so much that sometimes you would see his own wives. He's thinking, the gopis have come. Krishna is here. That's how much he used to think of Krishna. He was so much constantly, of course, in an unfavorable way, not a unfavorable way. But these things can occur. And so the idea here being that sometimes a situation can occur where one could reach to the point of bhava and maybe leave, but that's okay. They will continue their process and eventually they will come to Krishna. Eventually, then it's finally said in that final birth, that's when they come back to their original position of Jaya and Vijaya. Now they are back in that form, back in their western gate, seventh western gate. They're back standing there. So this is their journey. Right? So this is Shubhada. This is Krishna the Shubhada, the most auspicious. Right? So we'll end here. Sorry, I ran over time. So anything devotees want to share? Yes, Prabhu.
It's very interesting how Prabhupada translated word to word.
Yes.
Shubhagayanta.
Yeah.
He translated
Yes.
spreading good fortune.
Yes.
I was actually thinking that it's something like singing auspicious kirtan or something.
Yes, yes.
I know it actually translates at the end of the day that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
how
yeah,
it
yeah.
translates.
Yes, correct.
The other thing is Sprihaniya Dhamma,
Yeah.
desirable shelter.
Yes.
It's such a fabulous quality of Lord Narayana.
Yeah.
As the Lord is so kind,
Yeah.
Prabhupada mentions there that He gives shelter to everyone,
Yeah.
both impersonalists
Yes.
as well as His devotees.
Yes. No, because the reason Srila Prabhupada is saying that is the practical situation, right? The Brahmavadis are there and the Dasarasis are there. It is practically happening in front of him. It's there. Krishna can see this. And the last time Jaya Vijaya did this, it was Madhurya Rasa and Dasya Rasa. Lakshmi is standing and the Jaya Vijaya is standing and they're not letting Lakshmi enter. And again Krishna is coming and dealing with that. So yeah, he's dealing with all. Yeah. And so you will see this maximum in Gauranga Leela. Then in Lord Gauranga Leela, Lord Chaitanya deals with every variety. There is the fisherman, he's dealing with the fisherman. A fisherman chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And devotees like, just by looking at the fisherman, they're like, I think Lord Chaitanya is nearby. How hilarious is that? Okay, Lord Chaitanya will be here somewhere. So yeah, then Lord Gauranga is even more. So Lord Vishnu has one form, Krishna, but Lord Gauranga, that's why he's the most merciful. Yeah, that's nice.
And the other thing is, Prabhupada mentioned there that the Lord is always served in Vaikuntha Loka by many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune.
Yes.
At least in one of the earlier purports, Prabhupada mentioned that they are not actually the goddess of fortune, but they are like goddess of fortune.
No, those are different. So you're talking about the devotees' wives. So they're saying that they are like goddess of fortune because they are all coming from the expansions of Radharani. So then Radharani is just like we have Krishna, Prabhava Prakash, Vilasa Prakash and all of that. So Radharani has the same concept, exact same concept, no difference. And then finally when you get Shambhu, the flip over, the yogurt, then you get Durga. So exact same flip over from the Radharani side. So yeah. But here when we are talking about Lakshmis, then we are talking about the ones directly serving Krishna. So then they are Lakshmis. Then they are... Yeah, so the wives of the devotees were something like a devotee. Like, let's say I'm a devotee, I may become, I don't know, who knows what your form is, right? You could be an animal, or you could be a girl, or you could be a boy. Who knows? Nobody knows, right? You could be a tree there. Who knows? Right? No one knows, right? That is something that just comes. But the idea is that when you come to your final state, that is when your ecstasy is constant, sthayi bhava. That's when it's constant. Then at that point, you know your form, but that doesn't mean that at that point you could be Lakshmi or something like that. No. Then you are like. Then that's when you are in the like position. But then if you're looking at Rukmani and all of them, they are 100%. No doubt about it. So here when we are talking about them. This, this one, Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambhav. Then we are talking about them. The queens of Dwaraka, all of them. That's whom we are discussing. So, yeah, but then there's also the other side as well. So it's both sides are there. Yeah. True. Right. All right, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Krishna